Good afternoon, everybody, and welcome back to the show. The Atheist Experience is live November 2nd, Matt from Denton is calling us. He's our first out-of-town caller today, I think, and he's probably going to ask us some good questions. So, hi, thanks for waiting. Matt, are you on?
Yeah, I'm on.
Hey, how you doing?
I'm doing good.
All right.
What I wanted to, I'm actually working on a YouTube video on this, is, all right, you know how people are starting to embrace evolution? And, there's actually courses, Christian courses that people take that kind of merge the Bible and evolution together. But this always, begs the question of when did our souls begin? Was it Australopithecines, Homo habilis, Homo erectus? And they're all just kind of stumped on it, is what I've been noticing.
Yeah, none of them have really addressed that question in their curriculum, is what you're saying?
Yeah.
I'm not surprised, that when you are trying to defend, the idea of something that first hasn't been proven to exist in the first place. It's kind of hard to determine when we first got it. It's just as you might as well say, when did human beings develop the ability to teleport? Well, without any evidence that we can, there's really no point in talking about the origins of that.
What's interesting is that they also haven't addressed the issue of when do our individual souls, assuming we have them, when do we get those? Okay? Because, does it happen at conception? Does it happen when there's 8 cells? Does it happen when the cells are differentiated? Maybe it happens at implantation.
When does this divine soul upload occur? Do you have to get certain...
What happens if there's twins? Do they start off with one soul and then they each get half a soul? Or does somebody take the original soul and somebody else, the other twin gets another one? How does this happen? So, there's all kinds of questions that theists have to answer, and it's not even just, you don't even have to go back into evolutionary time to come up with lots of problems with this concept of people getting souls.
It's a tricky one, and it comes up with the you can sort of get into the interesting idea of, well, what about, say, pirating souls? I always thought this would be an interesting idea for a story. You have this, you have this theistic universe. A God is creating his people, and babies are being born and gestated, and at a certain point, a soul is introduced into the baby, and now you have a being, right? But what if there were some sort of demonic force out there, battling against this God and stealing the souls as they are sort of in transit and essentially pirating them and corrupting them, and then installing them into the fetus as sort of corrupted people. See, I think there's a story there.
Well, actually, I don't know if you ever watched the show Babylon 5.
No, did they do that plot?
Yeah, they had one where it was this
soul pirating.
Well, it wasn't that. It was this soul hunter, I think, or something. This guy that would, at the moment of death, he would be there and he would capture someone's soul as it was leaving their body, and it would trap it.
Okay, yeah.
And so he had all this bag of souls.
Indeed, yeah. All right, but that's sort of like getting them after they're dead.
Yeah.
I like the idea of sort of corrupting them in the womb from the outset. So, maybe that's how the Antichrist 666 will be born.
Oh, there you go.
That. He'll have the, there's all kinds of interesting little problems with the and who hates the theistic evolutionists? The traditional creationists, the intelligent design crowd.
Oh yeah.
All the way, everyone who just any of the groups of creationism. They don't agree with one another, right? You have the young earth creationists, you have the old earth creationists, you have the intelligent design bunch who says, oh, we're not creationists, we don't talk about God. But, they're all different. They all have their own little idea about how creationism works, but they're all united on one thing. They cannot stand the theistic evolutionists because they're not true Christians, right?
Yes.
And so they don't like guys like Kenneth Miller and Francisco Alea and some of the other, believers who also, understand proper science when it comes to evolution. So it's a funny one. But yeah, I still think that with, theistic evolution, you do run into that, little problem of, well, at what point does God do his tinkering? If you understand how evolution works, is it all just God creates everything and then just kind of leaves it alone to do its own deal? And then, so what sort of scientific evidence can you provide for that? So I still think they have a lot of a problem. They're halfway there. Yeah. And when I saw Kenneth Miller speak, I believe it was last fall, it was recently, at UT, I was sort of like, man, you're so close, you're so this close. But he has his reasons for, hanging on to his Catholic beliefs, and that's fine. But, as long as he is clear on good science, that's fine with us. So, all right, Matt, thanks very much.
All right, y'all have a good one.
Yeah, you take care. Okay.